It's finally here, the highly anticipated Emax Babyhawk. Let's get in this box and take a look. Alright, so here's our manual. That's nice. Toys have a manual. And we've got Chinese on this side. And looks fairly detailed. Here's the schematic of how our Babyhawk's put together. Here are the batteries I got from Team Legit. Got one free with a pre-order, and I got an extra one. And let's weigh these real fast, just so that in case you're looking for batteries for this guy, this gives you an idea of how much these weigh. We're looking at 29.4 grams for these batteries. And these are 2 cells, 350 milliamp batteries. Let's see what else we got. Here is one set of props. Here is another set of props. And a bunch of screws. Alright, look at that. Actually looks pretty good so far. Well, I gotta say at first, the build quality doesn't seem too bad. It seems quite sturdy. Let's give it a little twist test here. Not bad for plastic. So first thing I noticed that I really don't like that you would have to fix is look at the flight controller board. It's just sitting on there all wonky like. That obviously would not give you great flight performance. The button is recessed in this hole here, and 2-second press is supposed to get you into the selection mode. That apparently wasn't 2 seconds. Oh yeah, it was. Okay. So here you can select your bands, and then go back to F real quick, and then hold down for another 2 seconds, and then that gives you your channel selection. So pretty simple. Seems to work, I think. So after figuring out why I couldn't go to F8, turns out that channel is not available. That's actually my default channel and all my stuff, so there's a possibility that your go-to channel will not be on here. These prop guards are held on with a 1mm Allen bolt, or key, whatever you want to call it. So you may have difficulty finding one of these to get these prop guards off. But let me get these guards off and see if we can get inside this. First, let's get the weight with it all fully assembled, and we're just under 70 grams. So when you remove your screws that hold on the prop guards, they also hold on your motors. And when you remove these prop guards, make sure you don't use the old screw, because in that bag of screws I had earlier, you'll have this screw here, and this was the one that held on with the prop guard. Put this back in there without the prop guard, you're going to ruin all your motors. Without the prop guards on, we are looking at 62 grams. Now to get this camera off, there's these 2 screws here and 2 screws here, but if we can look down in there, right there, that there's a lock nut in there that we'll have to take off this top part of the unibody here in order to get this, or to get to those nuts. So I'm going to take all these props off, and then we're going to dive down in here and see if we can get this off. So these props fit on these shafts very tight, and you can't really pull them off without the chance of breaking this prop. So I found just taking a blade here, put it in there, pop them right off. Super easy. Alright, so we got the props off, and in order to get this top part of your body off, you just got some little tabs here, And also, you gotta remove these two screws first before this pops off. Alright, now after removing those two screws, then you can let go of these tabs, and this whole top part should come right off. And there we can see our ESCs, and it looks like there's double-sided sticky foam on it. So I don't know if it's just for padding or if they meant for you to take off this this layer here and stick them down. Not exactly sure on that one, but we're almost done. So let's get these 4 bolts off here that holds this top on, and we'll have the bottom completely disassembled. So here's a good look at the inside of this. These ESCs are just sitting in here. I'm going to pull the top off of this foam here, throw it away, cut my own, put some on the bottom, because this is just keeping your ESCs warmer. Heat rises out of these things, so I really don't understand the point of this. It's not doing anything. And this foam down in here is meant to stick on that processing chip there, and it just doesn't really fit down far enough to sit level. So I'm going to replace that also with some thinner stuff, and we'll see if we can get this kind of cleaned up a bit. So I'm going to work on that for a few minutes here, and we'll be right back. So I did some cleaning up on this. I shortened these wires a little bit and resoldered them, and this is definitely something you don't have to do, but it was just kind of bugging me. But I did not shorten these wires. I just kind of tucked them down in there and made it a lot nicer looking. And then I took off that pads that are on the top, put my own on the bottom, stuck these ESCs down so they're nice and secure. And then I got my satellite soldered on here. The Femto manual shows exactly where you need to solder these wires. Just don't go off of the satellite on that picture they've got, because it's actually positive, negative signal, and they have something else on their picture. But the red goes over to this boot pad, and then the black to this bottom. The middle one's not used because that's 5 volt, and this top is signal. And another thing too, these wires are actually silicone, which is nice. I know the Aurora stuff, from what I've heard, is not silicone. And I also put a new pad underneath this flight controller board here to help hold this down. And I have my USB port sitting on top of this plastic. So now I'm going to put my satellite on top of here with some more sticky pads, and I'll be right back. So I got my satellite secured on top using a couple layers of sticky foam there, and I added this piece of tape to the tabs here all the way around. I don't really know if that's going to stay or really help a whole lot, but I was just trying to help keep this board from wiggling too much. So now we should be able to put the body back on. The body does not go on yet because we got to put this on first, because you got to be able to put these lock nuts back on from right here. I'm going to tell you, this is a pain in the ass. This sucks. They need to put some kind of better plastic holder for these nuts, or just change something here, because that's, I mean, I know you're going to take this off a whole lot, but man, that is a pain in the butt. So yeah, now let's get the body on. Here is our fully assembled Babyhawk. First thing you'll probably notice is that I actually put these on facing the other way, because the hoops that I raced through, this opening is actually pretty big to where the hoop could get in here and hit one of these props as you're racing forward. So I put them on this way to try to solve that problem. And I only put on 2 screws here, because all 4 is kind of overkill. I mean, these things aren't going to have that much thrust. But the board came out pretty even. I don't really fly stability mode, so it's not really going to be probably a big deal for me. But if you do, you're going to have to want that board to be really flat. But as long as you fly acro, you're going to be fine. So now we got this all put together. Let's see if we can get some flight footage for this guy. This first flight is on a 350 milliamp hour 2S lipo, and the second one will be on a 450 milliamp hour 3S nanotech, which weighs 10 grams more than the 2-cell. This is my very first flight with stock PIDs, and they are very close to being perfect in my opinion. This was a fairly windy day with 15 to 20 miles per hour crosswind, and you can see quite a few bobbles in the video. On 2S it doesn't feel very powerful, but it's very easy to fly, and in hard turns I found myself using almost full throttle, but in an indoor setting this would probably work out very well. Being a cloudy day with the sun low on the horizon was a challenge for this camera, and I would say the camera did an okay job, but the brightness could have been better. The furthest I flew away was about 100 yards, and the video signal seemed solid. Here's my second flight on the Nanotech 3S. Right away there's a very noticeable power increase, but on heavy acceleration there was a weird video distortion that I think was due to vibration. The performance was a bit closer to a full-size quad and was absolutely a blast to fly. Here's a little crash I had, and the Babyhawk handled it great with no damage. This is the perfect step for someone who's been flying a tiny whoop, and for $100 I don't think there's anything better for this price. In about a month I should be receiving the Torrent 110, and I'll see if paying an extra $100 over the Babyhawk will be worth it. If you enjoyed this video, please check out and bookmark the link below to erasedayquads.com. They're an awesome company to order your multi-rotor parts from. They have free shipping over $50, they price match being good, and any purchases you make will help me make more videos. This is Corey from Crash Burn Racing, and thank you for watching.